Nirmala ji, most opposition parties have protested outside Parliament today, saying that your budget was a Kursi Bachao budget because you announced schemes for Andhra Pradesh, you announced schemes for Bihar, there was no mention of any other state. You even had a little bit of a confrontation in Rajya Sabha with the leader of opposition, Mallikarjun Kharge. But do you really believe this is a Kursi Bachao? Because now you cannot do without the numbers of the TDP and the JDU, which is why you've announced this. And even if you say कि बाकी states के लिए है, you didn't even take their name. The fact that you took only these two names clearly was a political message.
I took Himachal Pradesh's name.
In flood control. Yes. In flood control, yes. The announcement that you made.
I took Assam's name. I took Sikkim's name. So I have taken other states' names. It's not as if I've named only two. And I also repeat the point that I said in the Rajya Sabha. I want to challenge the Congress party on each of their budgets that they have spoken. If they had not mentioned the name of any one state in it, did it mean that they didn't want to give money for that state? Can I conclude like that? It means from the way in which they seem to be behaving today, that's what it implies, whereas I didn't imply that. I will still have money going to states who I have not named in my budget. I will still have projects undertaken in those states. I will still have centrally sponsored schemes happening in those states. So I will still look at ADB or World Bank functioning, support coming in, financial support coming in as loans to fund projects in those states. But does it mean, because of the way in which the Congress party has interpreted it today and walked out during the zero-hour discussion in the morning, does it mean that in their budget, if they didn't mention the name of one state, they stopped the money going to that state? I'd like to challenge. I would like to pick up on those budgets. In fact, let me tell you, today somebody who has read Indian budgets as a matter of hobby every year gave me this news that, you know, once an alliance partner left the alliance, they dropped mention about that state totally during their alliance days. Those kind of tricks maybe they play. We don't play those games. Take the budget documents which go along with my speech. Whether I mention it in my speech or not, the documents will show by scheme what monies go under each scheme to which state. Every state has it. Every state gets projects funded and monies go, whether I mention them in the speech or not. And that's why I took the example of Maharashtra, where a big project, a seaport, which actually this country deserved to have for the last 70 years. One of the biggest projects and the best draft is in that port. It should have been built 70 years ago. India would have had great advantage. Vadavan port in Maharashtra. Did I mention it in my vote on account? Or did I mention it now? I didn't in either of them. But the cabinet has given an approval to build one of the best, biggest port for India in Vadavan, 76,000 crores. You can always say, no, you didn't mention, but did money get stopped?
That's an election-bound state. So I will again be political and say कि महाराष्ट्र को आपने दिए क्योंकि वहाँ election है.
Please have your team to look into the budget documents and tell me which state has been ignored.
Tamil Nadu says they've been ignored. West Bengal says they've been ignored. Telangana says they've been ignored. Karnataka says they've been ignored. Especially the Karnataka chief ministers even said that you come to the Rajya Sabha from Karnataka and you've got nothing for Karnataka in your budget.
I would want each of them to please look into the budget documents and see if there is anything made as provision for those states or not. I think they're just being unfair in misleading and putting forth a misleading argument or a narrative and confusing the people. A responsible opposition. I recall my words. This election has seen people of India elect a government as much as elect an opposition. An opposition which has been given above 50, which was the earlier position, 99 seats, to be a responsible opposition. But what they are doing today, by doing all these baseless arguments and putting forth unsubstantiated allegations, they're doing a disfavor.
Why do you think they're targeting you? Is it you or your party?
Targeting me. It is targeting this government. And why do they do it? They just don't like Prime Minister Modi. It's a visceral hatred. And therefore, anything that he does for this country is unacceptable for them. There cannot be a greater petty-minded opposition than what the Congress is. It's a sad state. I wish the party rises from that kind of a pettiness. But maybe a bit too much to expect, because let me recall, when Congress was in power, the pettiness was shown against a state, Gujarat, and against the chief minister of that state, Gujarat, and the central agencies were used to undermine the chief minister, undermine every minister there. It is that attitude which continues even today, in spite of people punishing them with 55 seats last time.
So then is it payback time when ED and CBI go after the opposition?
Not at all. We have stated it publicly that our fight is against corruption in this country, and we'll go after black money wherever it is. And therefore they are out there doing their job. We have not made them a caged parrot, like the way CBI's chief during UPA's time commented about himself.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.